Hello, hello, hello. I have arrived. I'm here, and we're gonna go impregnate some guys. We need more folks for the harem, and I've been meaning to play this game for a hot ass minute thanks to aliens. And you know, aliens gotta be hooking your girl up with some of the weirdest fucking shit. Rip headphone users. Well, that's on you, Patrick. Stop bowling or unbusy yourself. It's not my fault. I post my schedule ahead of time, bro. So this is something called Don't Eat the Cashier. It's a half horror visual novel, half dating sim-esque. There's some creepy people, and I was watching aliens play it, and honestly, like, I was like, I want to bang that dude. I'm gonna impregnate that one. I like that one. That one can go in my bed. Ah, and I think I'm missing some stuff. Huh. Oh, I know what I'm missing. Hold up. There's that. And that. Alright, let's get playing. We're harem collecting. I'm gonna be simping my ass off. You expect me not to have the lotion and tissues ready? Alright. I'm a she, her. There is music. Hold up. I don't know if it's gonna do anything. Uh, type 2. I do got some hair. My name is Cross. Sometimes I really wonder, how did I end up here? Not that I dreamed of careers as a neurosurgeon or an astronaut, but for crying out loud, working at a gas station? On the other hand, money is money. I sent out resumes to every conceivable and inconceivable place, applying for every position where I could somehow use my degree in art. Zero responses. I had to swallow my pride and find at least something. I found this note stuck to the glass of the bus stop. Human organism, one for work at gas stations. Organism's duties include selling food for mouth, silence and obedience, household tasks, obeying those who are more ancient, friendly team offers, new and old faces of friends, long and different life, consumption of nourishment, juicy juices, trips to human places. Yeah, this doesn't look suspicious at all. Food for mouth? Seriously? The guy's got a style of his own. Or, you know, he used Google Translate. One of those two. Apparently, the manager is just an eccentric dude. Or is this their new marketing tactic to grab attention? Whatever, people often told me that I have my quirks too. And that's even if they haven't seen my fursuit. I forgot that we play as a furry! God damn it. I'm not knocking out furries at all. I have friends that are furries. I'm just not one myself. I mean, hell, I won't even bang a Pokemon. That's supposed to be like the gateway or something, isn't it? I mean, I'll make Vaporeon jokes all day, but goddamn. Well, whatever. As long as he's not a complete jerk who'll hit on me or make me scrub the floors with a toothbrush. Boom. I didn't scream. I couldn't move. Fuck yeah, tentacle monster right out the bat. Let's go. My legs are open. I am ready. My brain feverishly tried to find any category for this in its database. Hallucination? Psychosis? Too many energy drinks? Fuck, I wish I had some energy drinks. I could so use a monster right now. But yes, it is confirmed. Cross is not a furry. Cross is a monster fucker, though. And I wear that badge proudly. along with being an MPreg enthusiast. A typical middle manager? The monster from my nightmare stirred. Its tentacles crept closer to the counter. My god. The creature made a sound, not from my mouth. It had none. The sound emanated from deep within its bulk, hollow, profound, bone-shaking. His name was Bob. I now have zero interest. Why the fuck would I get with a tentacle monster's name is Bob? Well, don't get me wrong, I'm sure Bob is a great guy, but... Nah, bruh. You at least go with something like Robbie. I'll take a Robbie. Bob is middleman name. Middle-aged man. Greetings, organism. I am Bob, the indescribable and terrifying consumer of worlds. But you, grain of sand, may call me Manager Bob. Oh god, he's on a power trip already? Yep, definitely manager. No. This isn't real. I'm dreaming. I need to wake up. You will sell food for mouths and obey me, for I am ancient. Yeah, definitely middle management. Memorize the rules of this establishment, for my patience is limited as the salary I offer you. Look, if I can at least get a Snickers, I'm happy. Give me a Pepsi and a Snickers. I'm good. I'm gonna be real. I did work at a gas station for a time, and they made us pay for our own soda, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna wait till you leave, and then I'm gonna fill up my cup as many times as I fucking want. Deal with it. You're only paying me $9 an hour, bro. You can at least let me have free soda. Rule number 1, you sell, no matter what. Chicken food for the mouth, gremlin fuel, noodles made from cursed souls. Lottery tickets for extra limb raffles, discount rot, ritual foil, everything must be sold. He points directly at me with that creepy, slimy tentacle. Every miserable unit of currency brings me closer to my triumphant exit from this pitiful hole. I pinched myself, but didn't wake up. Rule number 2, be polite to customers. Ignore bald spots in werewolf fur, and watch for drafts when ectoplasmic and energetic entities are in the store. What? But don't let them get too bold. Customers are just walking containers for currency, and they should only pay in monetary units. So I can't get paid in quickies? Bob, come on now. Let me have some fun. Fuck. Like, for real, dude? Don't do this to me. Payment in existential dread or hair of the dead is not accepted. Well, I can't pay for anything. I pay purely in existential dread. What about crash outs? Will you accept crash outs as currency? I'm rich in crash outs. Many of them come here just to chat, because they are idle and purposeless organisms. Your task is to make them part with their currency anyway. It is also your duty to heal organisms if they are injured using special kits. If they die, they can't give away currency. And, you know, bad for business. But we ignore that part. We just care about the money. Excuse me, dear sir. You seem to have mentioned werewolves and ectoplasm? My voice is as polite as possible. I managed to compress my primal screaming panic into a tight ball and shove it deep down. You know, like any other entry-level drone. Werewolves? And that's not to mention that you yourself are a giant meatball with tentacles, damn you. I shall answer your questions, curious, polite organism. Werewolves and ectoplasmic entities are just a few examples of the many insignificant life forms that frequent this establishment. What unites them is that they are all slaves to consumption, just like your kind. Yeah, you got that right, bro. Ugh. As for my nature, I am your immediate supervisor and the guarantor of your future financial prosperity. I'm a gas station for monsters. I got a job with Cthulhu for minimum wage. This is all you need to know. That really is all I need to know. I fear any more knowledge will surely drive me insane. AKA, that's above my pay grade. For the first time, something resembling approval flickered across Bob's many-eyed face. A rare and unexpected display of the grains of wisdom that have not yet left the human species. Yeah, I am pretty smart. Appreciate you seeing that, Bob. God damn, I can't fucking speak. Embrace ignorance. Let it become your shield and a direct path to the status of Human Employee of the Month. Oh god, please don't take my picture. Low key, I actually hate having my picture taken. I'm that gnome right now. Why is there a gnome? Who the fuck knows? Honestly, who cares? Again, it's a fucking above my pay grade. And what does the Human Employee of the Month get, though, Bob? A cash bonus of 25 cents. A whole quarter? I could get a gumball! No, wait, gumballs are like 50 cents nowadays, aren't they? Damn. Inflation even be hitting fucking candy machines. That sucks balls, bro. Come on, bro. At least give me a pack of gum. I understand that you, human, are already extremely excited about this, but that's not all. You will also have access to the Elite Manager's Restroom for one full work cycle. During its use, there is only a 7% chance that you will be transported to a dimension of endless pain, suffering, and unimaginable torment. So there's only a 7% chance that I'll be transported to New Jersey? I like those odds. Truly generous. Yeah, that is generous. He suddenly places the jar in front of me on the counter. And the last rule. Remember, organism, this tipped container must be filled with money at the end of your wake cycle. If the bottom of the jar is visible, you will clean the sanitary rooms with this object in the dimension of absolute horrors and suffering for 2,510 years. With a fork? I mean, that'll be useful for, like, if I want to, like, scrape the gunk from the grout between the tiles, but, you can't really do nothing with a toilet for that, bro. I'm just kind of scraping the coating off it. I couldn't take my eyes off the fork, the potential tool of my eternal servitude. At this moment, my mind fully capitulated. Yes, I was hired by a multi-eyed cosmic architect squid. Yes, my clients will be non-humans. Yes, I'm being threatened with a fork and eternal toilet cleaning. How could anyone clean anything with a fork? The same will happen if you think of escaping before the end of your work contract. My ocular sensorium perceives the subtlest of matters. It will detect you in any corner of this pitiful planetary sphere. Yo, wait a second. I don't remember signing a contract. Crap. I'm stuck here. I'm in a trap. Do you understand, organism? Yes, sir. Acceptable. Goodbye, organism. Good luck in your currency acquisition and button pressing. Why is there an option to ask him how to work a fucking vending machine? Wait, what vending machine? You know what, that's just, I think that's just me being a smart ass. So I would press it, but nah, I want this guy in my face. Adequate. Your willingness to fulfill your work duties deserves my emotional approval. Human entity, you are acceptable. Oh, look at that, Bob likes me. Not sure how I feel about this yet. Maybe the more he likes me, the more I can get away with shit. If he likes me enough, he'll let me have a stool behind the counter. If you expect a monetary reward instead of an emotional one, you need to immediately reconsider your moral compass. Oh, no. Nah, I don't expect anything like that from middle managers. Ever. Greed is a highly condemned trait for a human organism. Yeah, well, I kind of like paying my rent, though, Bob. This concludes the briefing. Remain as polite an organism as you are. I'm only polite to managers, bro. I will be a total fucking shit to the customers. He didn't turn around as a human would. His tentacles simply shifted his entire mass in another direction with a soft gurgling sound, and he waddled across the linoleum. Finally, he left me alone. The silence at the gas station was broken only by the hum of refrigerators containing juicy juices and the buzzing of the neon lamp above my head. I stood in the same spot, as if rooted to the ground. My breath returned to me in a sharp, uneven gasp. My hands were shaking. Oh no, I need a cigarette. I mean, if the store is empty, so long as I'm, like, out front so I can come in when a customer does, it should be safe to have a smoke break, right? Bob didn't tell me whether or not smoke breaks were okay. Shit. The tip jar, which I needed to fill to avoid ending up in a dimension of ancient horrors, will stood proudly on the counter. Okay, so, what the fuck just happened? Option 1, I've gone insane. Most likely. That's the most logical conclusion. Prolonged stress from job hunting, malnutrition, nerves, anxiety, a disrupted sleep schedule. My brain just malfunctioned. I mean, yeah? Minus the job hunting and, you know, change that up for 3 jobs. That's why I'm insane. What is this sleep you speak of? Yes, that's it. I'm gonna wake up on my couch in my dingy rented apartment. I pinched myself again, and nothing. I scanned the room once more. It smelled of gasoline and old coffee. It was still absurdly real. And that meant everything you said. It was all true. Werewolves, vampires, tips, the fork. I'm gonna gain a phobia of fucking forks now, aren't I? Damn it. A hysterical mix of laughter and a scream of terror welled up in my throat, but I held it back. I needed to get through this. I can scream when I'm home. I needed to... Ah, hell. Oh no, don't tell me that's the first customer. Wait a sec. I just now noticed that the game finally has fucking sound. I should probably turn that up. Alright. Bells? What the hell? Oh, sup, bro? Yo, eye drops are in aisle 3. Let me just go ahead and go get those for you. You gotta lay off the grass a little bit, bro. I don't think that little bloodshot's safe for you. Shit! Where the hell did this clown come from? Oh shit, that's some That is a loud, distorted tone. Okay, I'm gonna bring that back a little bit. There we go. It takes great effort not to look away from those red eyes burning in the pitch black darkness. Is he amused? Is he wondering if I'm tasty? Bob didn't exactly give any guarantees that I wouldn't get devoured at work. Oh god, please devour me. End my existence in the best way possible. My brain, still recovering from the encounter with Bob, was frantically trying to figure out how to break this ringing silence. I love all of these options. I mean, this is the best, honestly. You can't just appear at the center of a creepy piano, sir. Or, you know, I could fucking tease him. Yeah, fuck it, I'll call it cool. Oh shit! He's hot? Okay. Well, these tissues aren't gonna go to waste at least. Purchase. I would like to purchase your attention. I'm gonna flirt with him. For me? Only for me? You spoil me to achieve such an exclusive treasure released in a limited edition. I feel like a king, although am I not already a king? No matter, I've never felt more regal than I do now. Well, I accept this generous offer, but a deal requires balance, doesn't it? In exchange for your attention, you shall receive mine. Hooray? My god, another crazy person with a strange way of speaking. And it seems he's in the mood for a chat. So, what is a beautiful, charming lady like you doing in such a dreadful, dirty island of misfortune? Or rather, what's a place like this doing with such a charming lady as you? See, it was the only place that would hire me. And I kind of like to eat, so, you know, shit happens. Oh, wait, where are my manners? Suppose I must introduce myself. I have many names, most of which are not fit to be spoken in the company of a lovely lady. The nicest I've heard is the Mad King. I'll be mad too with those eyes, bro. Seriously, you gotta lay off the grass, bro. That is not healthy. A title I plan to pass from me to myself for the coming centuries. However, my mortal mother named me Daron. Darren? Let's go Darren. I like Darren. Now, may I have your hand? Sure. Oh fuck, he's a gentleman. Let's go. He suddenly bows his head and presses his lips to my knuckles. Meeting you is truly a pleasure. His lips are cold, yet a ghostly warmth spreads across my skin. So here I am, dealing with a real gentleman. How lovely. Or a king, as he calls himself. Of all the kings and emperors locked in their soft chambers, this one's probably found a way to escape. May I know your name? I don't immediately realize he's asking me a question, still in a daze from that gentlemanly kiss. I'm also a queen, the queen of the gas station. No, the fuck I ain't, bro. If I'm a queen, Bob is the goddamn emperor or some shit. Anyway, he's got the ability to knock my head off. So I can be a fucking know-it-all. Or I can attempt to be funny. Fuck it. I refuse to reveal my true name. Demons always do terrible things with them. Refusal? A rebellion against age-old traditions. My lady, your rebellious spirit certainly commands respect. What a pity that the plastic badge on your chest holds a different opinion. Lady Cross. Oh, okay, that just meant that I just got the pitter patters. I've never been called Lady Cross before. That is completely new. Damn. Me? A lady? Yeah, he's definitely been spoken a little too much. Goddamn badges. Oh, whatever. I didn't want it anyway. What's stoicism in the face of such blatant theft? But what if someone steals your identity? You don't even have a spare one. It's always good to have at least 10 just in case. You make a great point, dude. There are only benefits, plus you always have someone to talk to. Think about it. I wonder if our gas station sells straitjackets. I might need one for myself soon. Another for my second Okay, stop it. I feel like my brain is turning jelly. Actually, it's not all that bad. Honestly, I've just been spoiled by all those mangas about sinister and tragic monsters. Well, the only tragic thing about this client so far is his tragic unwillingness to buy my discount rot. So, let's finally get to the purpose of my visit. Finally. It's completely unknown to me. Oh, for crying out loud. God damn it, Dayron. Just buy some fucking expired Oreos or something and fuck off. There's nothing interesting in the assortment of this pathetic shack, except for you, so I'm buying your time. Let's have dinner. I'm sure you must be hungry. Dinner, you say? Only if I get to choose the activities after dinner, Daron. If you know what I'm saying. Oh no. Allow me to create a more pleasant atmosphere for us. I'm shivering from a gust of icy wind. He just teleported half my gas station to a radioactive dump. A radioactive dump to my gas station. And the jar is gone. My freaking jar! What a wonderful place for dinner. Radioactive cockroaches on the menu. Of course, a local delicacy. Hand-fried in their own radioactive juices to preserve the flavor. Crispy on the outside, still alive on the inside. They grant you the most thrilling superpowers. However, I can't go long without familiar landscapes. Already ruined lands make me melancholic because all the fun has happened without me. Disgusting. Yeah, you're right. Totally gross, bro. Allow me. This is something seemingly less radioactive. Yo? I love this. That frog, though. Amazingly, I haven't thrown up yet. Feels like I've been flushed twice during an interdimensional toilet. I clear my throat. Seems like I'm sitting at a table. Much better, wouldn't you agree? Couldn't it be better? It's beautiful here and strange. Is this your home? Words of a true poet cross my two favorite categories, strange and beautiful. Oh, no wonder you are attracted by me. I am also strange and strange. This place is much more than a home. It's my cage and my greatest canvas for creativity. Every ugly tree, every mad toad, every eye-bearing mushroom, it's all a piece of me. A marvelous place, except when the rocks grow legs and start running. Yo, I want to see that, though. Including those that people make their homes out of. And now you're part of this place, too. Isn't it wonderful? I'm slowly getting used to the landscape. The fireflies here are quite charming. But it'd be better without that frog with a human face. Yeah, this frog. I don't like this frog. No one tell Cherry that I don't like a frog. She'll cry. The frog notices me too. It lets out a sad croak and then looks at me with an expression of deep existential despair. I'm gonna pretend it's not there. Darren seems to notice my discomfort anyway. His gaze follows mine until it too lands on the strange frog. Seems you notice my pal Lori. Oh, if we're talking about the same frog here. Yeah, I see him. That's Lori, one of the brave souls who dared to challenge my authority. My dear friend who once walked the path of adventure. However, he didn't foresee the possibility of being turned into a frog on a whim. He even tried to wield a sword with his tiny froggy legs. Fought to the end, a true warrior. Now, however, his foes are mosquitoes and bigger frogs. Tell me, dear, does he bother you? This little existential froggy crisis, I mean. Is it ruining the ambience? He looks at me with an interested expression. No, I want him to watch. Watch life passing by. See us enjoy dinner of more than just mosquitoes and swamp otter. My dear, you're a treasure trove of delightfully dark little surprises. Darren, you don't know the half of it. So, dinner. I'm sure you must be starving. Traveling between realities must be exhausting. Has its ups and downs. This looks strange, but it smells delicious. Meat with honey? And next to the meat, a purple soup, possibly made from a less fortunate cashier. Whether the food is poisoned or not, if I refuse, His Highness might turn me into a frog too. So I pick up a fork from the table. And this is the most delicious thing I've ever tasted. It's 100 times better than those cheap instant noodles I usually buy in supermarkets. Wait, something being better than cup noodles? The fuck am I on? Aw, shit. Am I gonna get high too? Even the fact that I'm currently in some other universe surprisingly doesn't seem to harm my appetite. It seems you enjoy our cuisine. My chefs have always managed to cook well, on those occasions when I notice it. I assure you, you won't regret this dinner. At least, not for the first half hour after the meal. Thank you for the food on my plate not staring back at me. Oh, shit. Alright. Welcome back, Ash. And we've got a... Ara, ara. Ara, ara. Don't give me ideas. I may not be able to resist. To your fortune, however, I want your lovely eyes to look at me and only me, both the left and the right. I particularly like the right one. It has more spark. Yeah, I kind of like my right eye too. There's a lot more colors there. And I say that I don't have heterochromia. At least I don't believe it's heterochromia. But so my eyes are naturally like a blue-green. It's just from like a bright blue to a deep green depending on the weather. Weird, I know. But I also have like this deep brown spot in one corner and a gold ring around the pupil. And then also like it's kind of gray around the edges. It's really, really cool. But you see, but the color's a lot more noticeable in my right eye. So the fact that he said right eye, that means that I got a good game. I I think I remember you talking about your heterochromia before, Ash. That is fucking awesome. But yeah, so when those government papers are like, hey, what color are your eyes? I always switch between either green or hazel because there is a difference between hazel and brown. I never really understood what that difference was, nor do I really care. So I kind of alternate between the two, and honestly, they never gave a fuck, so who cares? But Simply and Libra um can both correlate. My eyes are fucking weird because they are mostly blue green, but there's also a lot of gold and brown and gray. My eyes don't know what the fuck they want. Of course, the gold and the gray are actually like semi-newish. When I was born, I had bright blue eyes. Like, my grandpa said that my eyes shone across the room when I was born. When I was a baby. Like, they were super bright blue. And only the right eye had that little brown splotch in the corner. But the splotch just slowly grew as I got older. And then also started getting the gold and the gray. And also started shifting to green. I poke at the food with my fork and watch the peculiar scenery from the corner of my eye. A silence hangs between us that might even be called cozy, were I under heavy narcotics. What's your favorite animal, Darren? Glad you asked. It's right here on our plate. Just kidding, but I do need some time to think. Let's see. The riding flea has its own charms. Very disgusting ones. Carnivorous butterflies are beautiful, but they're dumb and noisy. And as we know, only what's empty inside makes a noise, or what's in my head. It's always ringing. Nope, you are perfectly fine, Ash. Don't even bug about it. I'm guessing you're having some fun with the boozy bears, though. I think it's a dog. It loves its owner with all its heart, whether they're a saint or a serial killer, and doesn't notice the difference. It lives in a constant, joyful state of blissful ignorance and misplaced enthusiasm. A creature that finds endless joy in the utterly meaningless. It's truly inspiring. Dogs are the jesters of the animal world, and I adore them for it. Especially the small, wrinkly ones. And what about you? Uh, y'all probably can't tell what the fuck my favorite animal is. Unfortunately, penguins aren't an option, so cats. Oh, indeed, they are the true rulers of this reality, tiny furry gods of apathy and disdain, and we are their obedient, foolish caretakers. But I've been lucky enough to escape their tyranny and instead enjoy my own, and feed those around me. Mwah. I return to my meal. Just as I chew another bite, I hear His Highness's voice. By the way, how does the meat taste? Is the human flesh tender enough? My fork freezes halfway. Not as tasty as the one I had the day before yesterday. Chew while looking me in the eye. Oh shit! You don't know how to feel about that. I meet his gaze, slowly and with all authority, place a piece of meat in my mouth and begin to chew without breaking eye contact. I would 100% do that, though. I can't remember ever seeing someone so shocked in my life. His mad grin vanishes, his eyes widen, and his own fork freezes halfway to his mouth. For one precious, glorious, sweet moment, the Lord of Chaos is completely and utterly baffled. My dear, you are a true treasure. You didn't just call my bluff, you raised the stakes to the sky. No, it's certainly not human. It's just venison. As far as I can tell by taste, not very intelligent. It's definitely not Timmy, our carpenter. I unexpectedly disappeared near the large kitchen cauldron, perfectly sized to fit in it. Definitely not. I've personally issued several decrees related to cannibalism, perhaps even concerning its prohibition, but that's beside the point. I rarely have visitors, and I'd like to tell you about other interesting guests. After all, it's the most fascinating thing I can share with you. For a place where mushrooms with eyes grow, it can be incredibly dull here. Oh, fuck. Yo, this is some good music, though. Jester got a good OST here. Shadows in the clearing thicken and stir. They detach from the gnarled trees, rising up from the ground like black ink and spread across the wall. Dancing and intertwining, they prepare to perform at their master's whim. Behold this incredibly crooked castle, my dear. Crooked to the point of absurdity, sadly. In reality, its curves look far more aesthetic. We give the creature some leeway for expressiveness. Many brave and not so bright souls have tried to conquer this terrifying, dark, eerie, crooked castle. So many that it became even more crooked. You see, the dreadful monster living there never liked being distracted from its important duties. Terribly important duties, like having long, deep conversations with its own reflection, or concocting recipes with raisins. So far, the scariest thing in this story is the presence of raisins. I don't like raisins. I honestly don't. I love grapes, but I hate raisins. They just taste like death. Yes, you do understand. They're a real horror, aren't they? Tiny, shriveled bits of deception. They pretend to be sweet, but they are just made to ruin. Oh my god, someone who shares my view on raisins. Let's go. They ruin lovely cookies, ruin family photos. They have no place in civilized society. Oh, how I understand them. The monster was a tyrant, a menace. He sowed chaos and disorder, mostly on purpose. He had countless opportunities for creativity and wasn't afraid to use them. He made some people believe they were pigeons and others that they were grains. He wouldn't allow his best servants to have windows, fearing that the moon and the both suns would get envious and want to take them away, and he demanded they seal the gaps in the door as well. He locked wizards who came to him for magical gifts in a giant laboratory and promised them power if they invented him a kettle that could boil everything except water. Ooh. Did they eventually invent the kettle? Invent it? Oh, they did much more. After 11 years of failed prototypes, a few explosions, and chemicals running away on their own legs, they succeeded. The kettle could boil even bright memories, but not water. Water would instantly freeze, explode, and file for divorce. I immediately rewarded them with a new invention idea. A cup with a sealed top and without a bottom. Let's see how they handle that. But I digress. But behold, a ray of light in the dark kingdom, the first hero, Sir Lord the Righteous in all his clanging, self-important glory. He took a knee to rest briefly, because the weight of his righteousness was bad for the health of his poor back. Following rumors spread by the same monster, he fought his way through the monster's loyal subjects to By the way, where did he even find them? Most of my subjects are too busy contemplating the color of suspenders or lamenting their fate. I cherish them in their imperfection. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They were probably the most restless of them. Every story needs minions. In any case, our hero descended into the Grotto of Despair, the Grotto of Tentacles. Imagine the most sinister name you can conjure. The Grotto of Kidney Stones, for real. The dreadful, imperfect human body. The most affliction is having them in your kidneys. What a joy that now I can choose how many I have. I prefer a negative number. Me too, buddy, me too. Kidney stones are the fucking worst. But let's not get sidetracked. Into the Grotto of Kidney Stones, our hero descended to retrieve an artifact capable of defeating the Monster King. The Ring of Incredible Power. A bit shoddily crafted, but I assure you, it looks more aesthetic in real life. There's a fucking smiley face on it, bro. You know what? Great touch. 10 out of 10, no notes. However, the brave knight didn't know that the incredible power of the ring lay in its 440-pound weight. That was its only magical property. The only incredible thing about this ring was its incredible stupidity and uselessness. The realization that he had spent weeks of his life on a divinely heavy paperweight, and the sudden crushing thought that he should have become a baker instead of a hero, just to get some sleep. Well, it broke his poor, noble mind. Not that this mind was ever intended for serious burdens. So, the knight perished. But then along came Elmer Eagle Eye. Blah blah blah. They say he earned his nickname by escaping from an enemy fortress. On the third day of his captivity, he noticed that his prison cell was lacking the fourth wall. An archer of legendary skill who tried to kill me with a precise shot. Constantly. During breakfast, while bathing, at balls, during sleep, and even while I was devising a plan to get rid of him. The audacity. Oh yes, definitely. The audacity of this bitch. Yo, that's like breaking some kind of code. Don't shoot at guys while they're just trying to bathe. Come on now. I hate just killing them. Turning them into madmen is much more fun. And I bestowed a little curse upon the elf as well. I made it so that every time he drew his bowstring, he'd hear the most annoying melody to his ears. Elmer was a terrible racist. He hated dwarves. So naturally, the melody became the national anthem of the dwarves, played in a loop by a bagpipe orchestra. The pure rage it provoked derailed his aim every time. Eventually, he stormed the castle, dropped his bow, and begged for a job at my court in exchange for changing the song to anything else. He was desperate, and I was the villain. Everything aligned incredibly well. Now he's my royal huntsman. Dwarf March is replaced with a lively elven sea shanty, and let no one dare accuse me of being callous and heartless. Okay, honestly, I would take an elven sea shanty over the dwarven anthem anytime. Now he has a salary, good food, clothing, entertainment, and a full guarantee of non-dismemberment. You missed the opportunity to change this dwarf national anthem to dwarf serenades. Cross, where were you before? Hoarse odes and comparisons to long stalactites. Endless rhymed verses about the shine of a beloved's beard. It's a refined, devilish thing. I didn't think of it myself. To torment a man, not with sounds of war and patriotism, but with the clumsy, heartfelt caterwauling of a species he despises. Turning a love song into an instrument of pure, heart-wrenching agony. Brilliant. Well, still your ideal for the future. Hey, you better at least fucking credit me, bro. I want royalties. And finally, the witch. In a classic giant hat under which you could easily fit another witch. She tried a different approach. Seduction. She attempted to charm me, to gain my trust, to become my spouse. A fatal miscalculation. She didn't consider the fact that I never trusted big hats, or people, especially when both come hand in hand. But those who wear suspenders and a belt at the same time, a person who doesn't even trust their own pants certainly doesn't earn the trust of His Highness. Then again, I don't trust His Highness either. I don't trust myself, especially the left side of my brain, especially on Thursdays. But back to hats. Hats don't evoke any particular interest. No hate, no love, no hate, not even mild annoyance. I mean, so long as they're not sitting in front of me at the theater, I don't give a fuck. Really, I suggest you quickly develop a strong opinion about them. They say it's a highly entertaining hobby, and useless, like any good hobby. I came here for a good time. Honestly, I'm feeling so attacked right now. Meanwhile, the witch was quite overt in her murderous intentions, jingling with all her concealed weapons. Why does a witch need so many hidden blades? She must have been very bad at witchery. In any case, she now resides in my dungeon. And you see, I haven't decided what to do with her yet. Her fate is a blank slate, a story yet to be written, so I offer you the pen. I simply adore random choices. Give me yours, Cross. What punishment befits her? What? Does he really want me to decide what to do with a real person? Can I even save her? It doesn't matter what I choose. Everything here follows his whims anyway. As long as I play the circus monkey, I have a chance to get out of here alive. Maybe I should just entertain him? Damn, what should I do? Ooh. Turn her into a small hat. Oh, that's so lame, though. The craziest thing would be to spare her. No one would expect that. Honestly, I don't like any of these choices. They all suck. They're not fun. A quiet chuckle escapes his lips. Using mercy as a weapon of chaos, are we? To forgive her, not out of kindness, but because it's the most illogical, unpredictable, and therefore maddening thing. She'll spend her life waiting for me to change my mind, waiting for me to jump out from behind a tree and send her back to the dungeon. Wonderful. Such incredible psychological torment. So be it. Well, at least she'll be alive. Something's missing from this tale. You never told me about the monster itself. Dear, who cares about these monsters anyway? I do. If monsters are the muck, then I'm the pig, you see? Daron, I'm not sure if you were aware of this. I am a self-confessed monster fucker. I care. How eloquent. Alright, I must admit, this is my first performance like this. Daron sounds a bit bewildered, it seems. Allow me to just toss my mind up and see how it lands. You see, the monster was originally much more modest and less majestic. We all had to start somewhere, right? Then, my mind suddenly became a bit crowded. First whispers, then arguments, then full-fledged discussions that had to be participated in, and involved inanimate objects. Guests in ajar doors, closets, even in cookie jars. Every container a potential foe, and I was surrounded by containers. To be fair, sometimes they told funny stories. But why was I afflicted with this curse? Pondering it drives me mad, even more so. It seems the question is meant for me. Bro. Be real. Sounds a little bit like schizophrenia, and that hits a little too close to home. Bro. Okay, yeah. Well, let's go, nerd. Does your family have anything in common with the Habsburgs? Ha, my lady, that's so mundane. That's exactly what happened. You've guessed it. It's all about rotten blood. Too pure, I beg your pardon. My great-grandfather issued a decree forbidding death from old age, and a distant aunt believed a colony of sentient mold was living in her walls, claiming her inheritance. But I always thought that I would be spared this fate. I had to be temporarily isolated to avoid embarrassing guests at royal balls with the young prince, pointing at noble lords saying, "Ha ha, the numbs finally got out from under my bed." What a misfortune for the entire family, except for those in line for the throne before me. My death would have solved many problems for my family, and indeed, many of my own problems too. I made a decision. We made it, to be precise. There was already a whole council of us by then. However, Chaos had other plans. A god, a goddess, a cosmic clerical or error, I don't know. Something ancient and terribly bored found itself a new source of entertainment. It offered me a throne, my own corner of reality to rule, where the fragments of my mind would become the laws of the land. No more restrictions or pants for my subjects if I wished. My subjects, at first they disagreed, but then they came to terms, or their minds changed to fit the new realities. And here I am. A dramatic silence ensues. I am the first being to hear this story in the centuries of his existence. I must choose my next words carefully. Well, wait. At the very beginning when we came here, he said that it was his cage. So you're still in a cage? It must be rather lonely here. No cages. More like a playground, with surprisingly silent infants. I don't blame them. I have the best shovel. It's no wonder I embarrass them so much. Or maybe it's because I love to create explosions. Tell me, have you ever been exploded? Or, no, don't tell me. Let it be a surprise. Do you really sympathize with someone who dragged you into this dimension to tell silly stories and feed you purple goo? People never cease to amaze me. Bro, sometimes I amaze myself. I'm gonna touch his hand. Following a strange impulse, I reach out to his hand resting on the table. His gaze slowly follows my movement, lowering to our hands. This time, no commentary. Instead, his thumb begins to trace patterns on the back of my hand with surprising tenderness. The shadows finally dissolved into nothingness. I just saved someone from a terrifying fate at the hands of a madman. I feel a certain pride. It would be a pleasant addition to the horror I felt for the past hour. I'm afraid royal duties await me. Our time is up. I shall send you back, Cross. I rise from the chair. Oh, fuck. And suddenly I feel him press against my back. One of his hands grips me just above the crook of my elbow, while the other gently rests under my chin, tilting my head back until my ear is just a couple of centimeters from his lips. I'm just gonna appreciate this moment. Damn, bro, getting handsy on the first date. Let's go. But don't think for a second that this is goodbye. It was merely an overture. His voice, usually so mocking and calm, now sounds eerily sinister. A cold thumb lightly strokes the line of my jaw. I try to suppress a shiver. You are a very interesting, incredibly curious guest. Possibly the most curious one I've had in centuries. And I found that I don't want our acquaintance to end here. It's terribly unfair that you learned a couple of my secrets and revealed so few of yours, isn't it? I can't tell whether he's flirting or threatening. Both, perhaps? A bird trapped in a cage of bills, failures, and endless anxiety. How high could you fly once the cage is opened? Your shift will end, the sun will rise, and you'll want to head home. Perhaps on something more elegant than a bus. Maybe in a carriage of polished bones. We will meet again, Cross, very, very soon. And next time, I won't let you go so quickly. Is that a promise? Woohoo! I squeeze my eyes shut. The light is blinding even with my eyes closed. So unusual after all this darkness. The jar is full of money. It was all worth it. Greetings, organism. How is your work progressing? I see the first transaction was successful. Acceptable. This still doesn't save you from the threat of cleaning sanitary facilities, but it's a wonderful starting point for your entire tiny life. Even more than successful, the client tried to fill the entire station with money, probably due to extreme affection for you, organism. Unfortunately, the terms of the Intergalactic Treaty do not allow such actions, typically exceeding the amount set by the Council by approximately... What the fuck is that number? 1,949,393,000,000% were disintegrated to my great regret. To my regret as well. Bro tried to fucking throw like $9 trillion into here. So, a mad god from another world likes me? In some sense, that's possibly worse than not being liked at all. Yo, speak for yourself, bro. Work is going well, sir. Excellent. Maintain this level of productivity. You may be rewarded with an additional 5-minute feeding break for you if you can find food. Rejoice in my generosity. Continue working. I am experiencing a positive emotional reaction. I am proud of you, and I will be even prouder if you acquire even more currency. Your tactic of adjusting carefree organism is clearly paying off. Sure. My mind departs from you and the organic form follows. Okay, I'm fucking off, bye. He slaps across the floor to his office. As soon as Bob's rhythmic wet slaps fade away, a deep silence descends on the station. One moment I'm in surreal forest, dining on purple goo with a mad god. A god who liked me so much that he offered me a ride back to his world in a carriage made of bones. The next moment, I'm being praised by a multi-eyed tentacled monster. Maybe these are all just my deathbed hallucinations. God, give me back my bills, my noodles, my arguments with strangers on the internet. Nah, this one. I'm going insane. Some part of me enjoys these mad adventures. For real, though. I'm an adrenaline junkie. Disgusting. Now I have to deal with that, too. I'm gonna go skydiving! Whee! In the midst of my contemplation, terrifying sounds emanate from my boss's office. Unfair bills! Unacceptably large numbers! Of course. What else could upset him so much if not that? Steps. Another visitor. This one decided to come in through the door for a change. He seems unwell. I hope he doesn't knock over my shelves of shampoo with jojoba oil and delicate lilies on his way. Oh, damn. He's not just unwell. He looks like hell. Literally. All the skin on his left side is torn off from his jaw to his temple. I swallow nervously. What kind of meat grinder has this guy been through? He looks like someone who could rip me apart if he doesn't like what he hears. And be careful if I don't want to become the next victim. Well, it's hard to imagine how the other fighter looks. Yeah, buddy looking hella rough. God damn. Also, congratulations on the stream streak, Komodo. He lets out a gurgling, raspy laugh. You don't want to know what the other fighter looks like. Honestly, I really don't want to know. My inner archive labeled, I don't want to know this, is at the risk of bursting from overflow tonight. Words clearly come to him with great difficulty, which is probably not surprising for a man without half a face. He clears his throat, but that doesn't help much. I need blood. He tried to smile. It would be charming if he still had all the necessary muscles for that. It'll haunt me in my nightmares, among other things. The client pauses again briefly to clear his throat. Let me see what we have, bro. Yeah, good choice, babe. Step to the storage. Just in case. He suddenly leans forward, boring into me with his remaining eye. Go and find me some goddamn blood. Bro, I was already doing that. Come on. Fuck off before I fucking shove my fist through your empty eye hole. A strange pressure builds in my head, and the edges of my vision blur. An unyielding command blossoms in the center of my mind. I don't know why, but I feel an incredibly strong urge to find blood. Right now. My client is covered in blood, but still hungry. Maybe he fought with something inedible. Or is it his own? I found myself in a storeroom, a tangled labyrinth of shelves reaching up to the ceiling, stuffed with boxes, crates, and mysterious cans. In the corner, something rustled and snorted suspiciously. So, where could the blood be? I need to think fast. He's not going to wait forever. Right now, I'm at the very beginning of this crazy place. Probably the food for mouth section. These signs are driving me insane. I really hope my manager will eventually learn English properly. I'm surrounded by pure madness of anxious packaging, and even in front of department entrances, there's some baby food for cyborgs piled up. I'm frantically trying to decipher the crooked inscriptions. In front of me are sections with food for mouth. This one? Here are the endless shelves of drinks. Next to Coca-Cola are bottles labeled Liquid Regret and Primordial Broth, now with nucleotides. Cans labeled Brapsy, Vodka Solnechko. I'd love to meet the person who came up with these names. I check each shelf, pushing aside cans of essence of shits and giggles. Essence of shits and giggles. I need that in my life. But find nothing resembling blood. The closest thing is liquid hematogen in a giant wooden container. It smells worse than it looks. I go back. I hear knocking. It's the dry, rhythmic tapping of knuckles on a laminated countertop. It's not loud, but persistent and full of irritation. In front of me are sections with food for mouth. Food afraid of heat. A huge freezer chamber. Probably matter of lesser fort. Bingo! There's animal blood here. Maybe it's about regeneration or something else, but he seems better because I hear impatient footsteps. Great, now he's fidgeting. He can't sit still anymore. This isn't just impatience, it's anxiety. And I really don't like where this anxiety could lead him. I need to hurry. A huge freezer, The section reeks of formaldehyde and horror. Glass jars filled with murky liquids sit on the shelves where exhibits float. I try not to think about one of the containers holding a name tag that reads Kevin. Ooh. Yo, Kevin or Michael? Let's go Michael. The blood in this jar has a rich, almost glowing ruby hue. It looks healthy and full of energy. Michael, whoever you were on top. Champion's blood flowed through you. You were probably something like an energy drink for the undead. Yet here you are in a jar. There's something to ponder. He abruptly lifts his head as I approach. You could have hurried up. He grumbles, but his tone reveals that he feels relief. The search could have taken even longer. Now hand over that damn blood. My client finishes the jar and then grimaces. Ugh, for crying out loud. What the hell is this crap? He reads the note in the jar. Michael. Well, you are a lucky guy, Michael. Too bad I can't kill him a second time. Tastes like a happy family, a successful career, retirement account, and this jerk probably never even had cockroaches. At least he's not a liquid Michael in a jar. He chuckles quietly. Yeah, there's something to that. Cool that you found human blood. Good job. You're sharp. Took longer to get to the rat. Really? You're wrong there, babe. The closest was your carcass. So you can thank your lucky stars that you're still alive. You're clearly tastier than a rat. In a way, that's a compliment. I will take that compliment. I'm gonna wash my dirty face. Don't get bored. Now I'm gonna get back to having this conversation with the gnome here. While he's not here, I have a perfect opportunity to wipe away the bloodstains. I'm just scrubbing a pool of blood on my first day at work. An interesting story for Reddit. A wonderful tale. I'm doing just fine. Nobody has eaten me. Oh fuck, he's hot. Okay. Damn, bro. How you doing? Now that you got both eyes? He's looking so much fresher with the second half of his face, while his expression still resembles that of a constipated owl. I'll just stand here for a while, okay? Take a little break. Besides, there's nobody here with you right now. And just so you know, if you try to contact werewolves, I'll take your head and crush it like a walnut. I would only be so lucky, bro. I'm David, by the way. A vampire, as you may have already guessed. What an incredibly interesting way to start an acquaintance. Especially that part about the walnut. Nice to meet you. Cross. Okay, Cross. I knew a Cross once. She used to trade kidneys in Venice Beach. She was a good girl until she got packed up. He's trying to provoke me, deliberately sharing the dirty details of his life to see how uncomfortable I can get. Bro, you do not want to go down that fucking road with me. I will out-cringe your ass. I could be a smartass. Yeah, I'm gonna be a smartass. I suppose I'm also selling some kidneys now. Yes, exactly 10 categories. Catalog? Do you seriously have a catalog? He leans forward, genuinely intrigued, peering into the catalog. Gremlin kidneys? Is that a delicacy? Why does it say both delicacy and fuel and animal venom? It's a universal product. Want some? I do. Looks like I found my best customer for today. Now I have a vampire here, and he's regenerating. Wonderful. The main thing is to not accidentally blurt out something wrong. I need to be friendly. Since when do vampires wear leather jackets? Don't you guys prefer capes and ruffles anymore? Ruffles? What the hell is that? I don't know ruffles. What even is that? Some French insult? His expression is as if I suggest he wear a maid's outfit. He'll defend that worn leather monstrosity at the cost of his life. That's obvious. Ruffles are not just a piece of clothing. They're a concentrated strike right at the core of his cool vampire persona. I don't wear any ruffles. I'm just 24 years old. This line looks like it was ripped straight from Twilight. How long have you been 24 years old? A long time. No, Ruffles. David slightly grimaces as he moves his hand. Damn mutts. Probably not all the wounds have healed completely. Does being a vampire doctor fall under my duties? I think Bob said it was mandatory. Let me help. He looks at me skeptically. The offer of help is probably so foreign and unexpected to him that it leaves him momentarily dumbfounded. Ew. What? You want to play nurse? I mean, it's not the weirdest thing I've roleplayed before. I mean, what? Come on, David, play doctor with me. A flicker of confusion is replaced by something more intense. Just a couple of scratches and a little piece of ass that will grow back on its own. I'm fine. Well, how do you know that for sure? Go ahead, show me, David. Let's see the bite on your ass. I'll kiss and make it better. If you don't let yourself be treated, my boss will lock us both in a dimension of 4 will be cleaning toilets with a fork for 2,000 years. Really? And how am I supposed to clean with a fork? And why is it such a ridiculous amount of time? Is there that much cosmic crap in there? His voice carries a clear mockery. He's about to say something even more sarcastic when suddenly, Bob has returned to his accounts. The sounds he makes still fill my soul with dread. Probably not just mine. Finally, the forks and toilets break through the last layer of his defenses. Alright, I spent my whole life in complete crap. I don't want to spend the next 2 millennia there, too. Damn you. Go ahead. Get out your band-aids with Dr. Chocula or whatever you're selling. Wow. It took no time to get one of these fuckers shirtless. Let's go. Yo, how long do you think it'd take me to get him begging at my feet? He totally looks like he'd be a fucking bratty sub. David sheds his jacket, shirt, and t-shirt, then settles onto a squeaky stool next to the counter. He's about to face a serious trial, staying in a vulnerable position for a few minutes. For some reason, cruel fate hasn't made him claw-proof. He certainly looks like he was just thrown into a blender. Judging by those bullet scars, he has quite an interesting past. Or maybe he was attacked by werewolf cowboys with guns. Most likely the former. By the way, I didn't know that corpses have doctors too. Thought the only doctor available to me now is the coroner. I'm rummaging through the necromancy kit that was sitting under the counter. It's a heavy military-style metal box with a faded label reading Kit for Alternatively Living Organisms. Inside, besides standard bandages, there are some strange items. Silver tweezers, vials of thick, glowing liquid, additional fingers, and of course, an instruction manual. A cheap, laminated brochure stained with something that looks like coffee. In the instructions, the first point states, determine whether you're dealing with a zombie. Ask your alternative living subject if they ever wanted to eat someone's brain. Fuck it. What? What subject? Fuck, I'm not, not a subject. Seems I offended his vampire feelings. He lets out an annoyed sigh for the umpteenth time today. Why does he not want to play along with me? What an asshole. Your brain? Definitely not. What about someone else's? I'm not, for crying out loud, what kind of question is that? I'm not attracted to other people's brains. Not at all. Do you remember Dracula eating brains? No. Did he rise from his coffin and say, what a lovely evening, I think I'll go munch on some brains? Stop looking at me like that. I'm not a damn zombie. I'm a vampire. And not even a chupacabra. You know what? Valid. Chupacabras are cooler. Zombies are stupid. They can't even talk. They just grunt and groan. I don't get why that's in your necrotherapist guide. I would do a backflip out of joy right now if I didn't have a piece of cloth sticking out of my ankle. I still glance at my visitor. I wonder if werewolves just clawed him up or if he managed to kill someone too. My instinct, something out of the Stone Age, suggests that he could have. The guy has a killer's gaze. You see someone like him in an alley, your hand automatically reaches for your wallet and phone. I lower my eyes. Next point. Let's establish the nature of the injuries. What kind of wounds could vampires leave? Damn. Tell me about your tragic past, as it says in the handbook. Bro doesn't want to play with me, so fuck it. David listens to this with the pride of a true soldier. Every word feels like a medal for valor. Something like that. He said it as if he didn't care, but I know better. Stroke his ego. I'm dying of laughter. He chuckles happily, trying to hide a glimmer of pride behind humor, but I won't be fooled. David is no longer just a wounded sucker. He's a true gladiator, having survived a battle with rabid beasts. Absolutely epic. Ugh. Damn, I'm thirsty. Today's hot. I don't know why. It's only like 59 degrees where I am. But for some reason, it feels like fucking boiling. I hate it. It sucks balls. I read through what medication I need and grab the regenerating extract for alternative living life forms. All that's left is to apply the stuff. I dip my fingers in the jar and... Suddenly, he grabs my hand. Do something wrong, and I'll rip your tonsils out through your ass. Joke's on you, David! I already got my tonsils ripped out! Haha! Fuck you! Though he did just confess he wants to give me anal, so there's that. You know you have this fantastic talent for coming up with threats. You should write scripts for action movies. Well, I suppose it's just a matter of experience. Probably. And you, well, watch what you're doing, or there will be consequences. It seems you just heard the best compliment of his life. Oh, God. Okay, yeah, no, I don't want David. He's got an ego. He's got a huge chip on his shoulder. Not my cup of tea. He doesn't want to play around with me. That's the worst part. Let me tease you, damn it. I apply this black goo to the wound. A puff of steam rises from the wound, and the air starts to smell like something is frying. It's probably very painful, but David remains calm. Not a single complaint, which is surprising. I hope it's not from your squid manager. Well, we all hope for that, buddy. My movements become slow and deliberate. I do everything cautiously, barely touching the skin around the wound, allowing him to get used to the sting. I can see the tense muscles in his back and shoulders relax slightly. He's still wound up, but relief is starting to wash over him. Naturally, no thank yous or pleases from him, but at least he's no longer threatening to do something to my ass every 5 seconds. Speak for yourself, I'm fine with that. Distract him. What are you talking about? What night? What battles? I fought in an alley stinking of urine against a bunch of dirty werewolves for territory on the outskirts of this godforsaken city. They tore my pants, and I had to take a new pair off a junkie who was laying in a puddle nearby. What am I, a knight of what? The knight of torn pants? Say with the pomp of a medieval wizard, you're a wolfhound knight. Oh, go to hell. Alrighty there, buddy. David says this almost affectionately. It seems we're making progress in our relationship. I finish up. Surprisingly, the wounds really are healing. The scars won't beautify this man. Why are you doing all this? The question is asked in an astonishing, serious tone. He's driving me crazy. Even more than that clown from earlier, it seems. I just want to help. No, for real. I just want to help. You were bleeding all over my floor, dude. It's not good for business. Why? David is confused. In his system of beliefs, action always equals benefit. I'm throwing a wrench into this flawless, long-running mechanism. Let's just say I have certain fetishes. Ha! I knew it from the very beginning, doll. You clearly have a few screws loose in your head if you get pleasure from this. I wouldn't even bother asking what those fetishes are. I just want to sleep in my coffin without any nightmares. Hey, room for another one in your coffin, bro? Alright, moving on. Screw this. Honestly, I don't care what's going on in your head. This is the most unconvincing lie I've ever heard in my life. He clears his throat. Thank you. What? Am I hearing things? I thought he didn't know such words. I'm even afraid to breathe so I don't scare off this rare, exotic display of politeness. He says that word as if he's pronouncing it for the first time in his life. I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually the case. Oh, he put his shirt back on. Damn it. Just a couple more seconds and he's back in front of the counter. So the client is fed, clean, and healed. And yet he's still here, not putting any money on the counter. And the tip jar is lacking. I look at him. He's supposed to be full of energy, but instead he looks lost. David is deep in thought, in that dark, gloomy little place that occupies his mind. Can I do anything else for you? This seemingly simple question stumps him. David frowns and looks past me for a while before responding. Yeah, you can do something. I'm curious about one thing. I haven't talked to a regular human in a long time. I wonder, by regular human, does he mean my extremely natural essence? I'm no vampire or werewolf or human, no. Hello, Bree. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in. What's going on? I hope you had a good stream, Bree. Thank you so much for the raid. Raiders, if you do not know me, my name is Cross. I'm a bartender on and off the stream. On and off the screen. I mostly play a variety of visual novels, simulators, roguelites, that sort of thing. Right now we are playing Don't Eat the Cashier. You've already missed, Darren the Mad King Jester. Now we're dealing with David the Vampire. So far I prefer Darren. David has a huge chip on his shoulder and doesn't want to play around with me. Though he did offer anal a few times. So there's that at least. Anyway, thank you so much for the raid, Bree. If you need to step away for a drink, a snack, to post-stream decompression, feel free to do so. I hope you had a great stream, and thank you so much for the raid. I'm no vampire, werewolf, or thieving gnome. Or does he mean my lack of a criminal record and absence of drug or alcohol dependency? Or maybe he's looking for the perspective of an ordinary worker, a working class person, a gray collar. Why the fuck would I help you, Shin? Whatever you did, you deserved it. Take your lumps like a man. That's what you get for being a little shit. Does your face always look that funny when you're thinking about something? I don't even get a chance to respond to his jab before he follows up. Let's conduct an experiment. Suppose you're now a free vampire, able to go wherever you want, do whatever you want. Where would you go? David looks at me expectantly. What weaknesses will I have? Well, no more tanning, no reflections in mirrors. If you're ugly before, it's actually a bonus, right? You can enter without an invitation. Garlic doesn't scare you either. Holy water is trickier, depends on the situation. A stake works, but piercing your chest would be quite the challenge. Piercing any part of you is quite the challenge, actually. Our skin is like steel, unless a particularly persistent werewolf comes along. Well, at least you can enter without an invitation. No need for unnecessary chit-chat with people. David looks at me expectantly. What superpowers do I have? A whole lot. We're practically a superhero league. I'm sure it never crossed your mind and that, in reality, bloodsuckers would be way scarier than in sappy movies for girls. Hey, Blade is not a sappy movie for girls. And honestly, it's the best vampire movie. Looks like he's watched Twilight. Interesting. Some of us not only drink human blood, but also capture people to experiment on them. They turn human bodies into a real nightmare of flesh and bones. Dr. Morrow couldn't even imagine. And there are vampire sorcerers who can rip your soul out of your body and make you work for them for eternity. Literally. Yo, that's fucking baller. I want to be a vampire sorcerer. That sounds awesome. Seems like I already have one of those sorcerers. His name is Bob. He's checking his bills. There he is. I wonder what inner strength it took David not to flinch. And there are those who can make your head explode. Literally, with just a glance. But not all of us are such wicked bastards. We don't even have to kill a person to eat. Just drink a little instead of gorging yourself like a pig at the trough. But some don't care. They just drain all the blood and splash it everywhere. The forensics team is baffled why the person turned into a sprinkler before dying. He seems to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are. Oh no, this is a very important question. Can vampires open beer cans with their minds? Oh, they sure can. But they can't drink beer afterward. Now when I was just recently turned, about 2 years ago, I tried to eat spaghetti. Not the smartest decision. Oh fuck. No. No, being a vampire would suck balls. I wouldn't be able to drink. I gotta have my liquor, bros. I don't want to be a vampire. We're good. Got it. He seems to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are. And which of these do you have? I've got a decent list of what I can do. I'm not complaining. Imagine it. You never get tired. You can party all night long. Fuck all night long. Bro. Yes. Okay. Wait, no. The trade-off. You're stronger than 10 thugs combined. Well, except for 10 werewolf thugs. That might take some effort. If you want to shrink down and fly somewhere, you can turn into a tiny bat. Your reflexes become 100 times sharper. You feel everything. You see everything. You can hear a rat piss a block away. Rats piss all the time. Like, everywhere they go, they leave a little trail of urine. And finally, you can make people do anything you want. Absolutely anything. It's one thing to scare someone shitless. They give in just to avoid being harmed. It's another when they act with full confidence that it's what they want. They don't even realize they're just vampire pawns now. Yes, I think I get it. He pulled that trick on me too. David smiles, but this time the smile is strained. These are the words of someone stuck in a web of artificial connections and ass-related threats. Fear and supernatural compulsion are the best foundations for a strong friendship. Yeah, I'm just gonna straight up tell him what I'm thinking. Even if it's based on my ass, I don't care. If you're a bloodsucker, you'll live like this and no other way. In this snake pit, you won't make true friends. Vampires don't live in one big beautiful house like in Twilight. They're like cowboys in the Wild West, constantly cutting and shooting each other, and blowing up houses. David mentioned Twilight again. Oh my god. Don't think I'm whining, it's actually great. Keeps you on your toes. You'll get used to it once you adjust. Come to think of it, being a cowboy isn't so bad. Can attest, as I live in the state of cowboys. Yes, I live in the big, beautiful, fuck you state of Wyoming. Yes, it exists. No, you don't want to live here. It sucks. But the cowgirls ain't bad to look at sometimes, if you know what I mean. Exactly, a great way to feel alive. Not so dead. You get it. David looks at me expectantly. Why did you watch Twilight, bro? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't watch emo crap. I hold a dramatic pause. David looks like a cornered animal. He stares at the floor, then the ceiling, anywhere but at me. Finally, he lets out a loud sigh filled with disappointment and embarrassment. Fine, damn it. Alright, I watched everything. All Twilight movies, watched the Lost Boys, Interview with the Vampire, Blade. The idiot who bit me didn't explain anything beyond the basics, like, don't go out in the sun, you little punk. I thought maybe these stupid movies had a clue, you know? Hidden all that silly romance and melodrama. Most of it turned out to be bullshit. I read legends, searched for info online. As you can imagine, all supernatural beings try not to give themselves away. But sometimes you still stumble upon bits and pieces. Or crazies. One or the other. My favorite, by the way, was From Dusk Till Dawn. Too bad vampires don't explode in real life. Okay, I'll admit, I have yet to see this vampire movie. Hold up. What's this about? From Dusk Till Dawn. Oh, there's a couple of them. And then there's also a television series. Okay. Apparently there's 3 of them. Yo, it's fucking... Yo, this is a fucking boss-ass cast. Quentin Tarantino, George Clooney, Salma Hayek? Dude. Danny Trejo? Oh, fuck. I need to fucking watch this now. Damn. It's written by Robert Rodriguez, bros. Fuck. Okay, yeah. I need to watch this now. Yo, Robert Rodriguez is one of my most favorite screenwriters. He comes up with some cool shit. Do you sparkle like Edward Cullen? He takes a deep, ragged breath. No, we don't sparkle. Wanna know what happens if I step into the sun? I catch fire in the sun. As if someone poured gasoline on me and lit a match. You know what that smells like? Like fried chicken. It's a nasty, excruciating final death. Very brutal. Yo, okay. Well, this game confirms that, vampires in the sun smell like fried chicken. And as someone who likes fried chicken, baller. What the hell is wrong with you? Why do people keep asking me that? David has clearly dealt with violence, drugs, and monsters, but a cashier craving fried vampire is clearly too much for him. You know, I've seen a lot of crap in my life, but this is the first time I see something like this. You have some kind of necro barbecue fetish? I have several fetishes, David, but I don't think it's necro barbecue. No, don't answer me. I don't want to know. I'll just pretend I didn't hear anything. We hear a wolf howling. Look at him! He's a little fucking bat with sunglasses! Look at that face! I didn't even have time to blink before David vanishes. Now he's a little bat hiding behind the counter. Look at that face! Listen up, don't say anything about me. Sit tight and behave or you'll feel incredibly shitty. Trust me, if you rat me out to that mutt, I'll find a way to get out and twist your head off. Don't promise me the good time, David. The threat in his voice is completely lacking, mostly because this voice now comes from a very small, though angry bat. Werewolf. A werewolf's about to come here now. Yo. That's a big dog. The creature steps inside. Good evening, ma'am. A low, rumbling bass, surprisingly calm and friendly. Can I pet you? Ma'am? I'm not sure I understood you correctly. You want to pet me? He awkwardly shifts from paw to paw. That's very unexpected and, of course, flattering, ma'am. Don't get me wrong, but I'm kind of on duty. Chasing. Tracking the supernatural. He looks around nervously. Alright, you can, but just a little. I still have important business. David's so fucking mad! I reach out and pet him. The fur is warm, soft, and thick. I immediately feel a low vibration. The wolf is quietly, silently purring. At first, it's a barely noticeable movement, but then his short, fluffy tail starts to wag slowly but confidently from side to side. He's a good boy. Very, very big, but good boy. He deserves praise. I'm the Princess Mononoke of this gas station. Although David doesn't seem thrilled. I pull my hand back. Ahem. Thank you, ma'am. It's been a while since I've been... Anyway, thank you. So, getting back to the purpose of my visit. Apologies for this sudden intrusion. Edward, you can just call me Eddie. We're chasing down a certain pest. You haven't seen a vampire around here by chance, have you? You know, young, a bit scruffy, wearing a leather jacket. You see, here's the story. One of our packs nearly took out a vampire sire and his offspring a few hours ago. It was a tough battle. We suffered losses. We tried to track them and found one of them. Well, more like a pile of ash where he once lay. It seems one bloodsucker off the other when he was weakened. Their family values are quite lacking. It seems patricide has occurred. David didn't tell me anything about it. Probably that's why he had all those questions about vampirism. He was trying to get advice from where to go next after killing his creator. In a completely idiotic way. You see, ma'am, vampires are parasites on the body of our society. They drink blood, like mosquitoes. But unlike mosquitoes, they kill their victims by draining them dry. They languish in boredom with their immortality, and thus destroy human destinies, play with them, torment them, and derive a semblance of pleasure from their suffering. They're devoid of true feelings. Yo! David's so mad! The little angry bat is so mad! I look at David, devoid of any feelings. He's shaking all over. So I would be extremely grateful for any help. That bastard threatened me 5 minutes ago, but now he's a small, trembling, and helpless. He's my bastard. I force a smile and say I haven't seen anything. A quiet, peaceful night. Eddie examines me closely. He's probably catching a faint scent of blood, but my calm demeanor throws him off. Strange. Well, okay. If he shows up, just give a whistle. We won't far away from here. Good night, ma'am. The werewolf goes off to his important wolf business. David crawls out of his hiding spot. You could have turned me in. He stares into my eyes as if trying to peer into my soul and understand what it's made of. And that would have been the sensible decision. But I'm glad you're not one of those sensible ones. Yo, who said anything about me being sensible? I have no sense. I just do shit. David says with a genuine relief in his voice. He's grateful to me, and now doesn't quite know what to do with that gratitude. He clears his throat awkwardly. Oh my god, I can't talk. So, what's the answer to my question? What'd you do if you were a vampire? His gaze reminds me of a lost fighting dog. Without a master, he's restless and can't find his place. What an advisor he picked. May the Lord help him. Yeah, why are you asking me about this, dude? I am not helpful whatsoever. Ooh. I like all of these options. These are all options that I would do. You could be a nerd. You can be a king. You can be degenerate. Or you can go a path of enrichment. Travel, honestly. He chuckles. Oh, still waters run deep and all that. Pity the road adventure led you to a stinky gas station. Maybe you're right. The world isn't limited to this lousy town. He says this quietly, almost to himself, looking out the window at the dark, empty highway. As if he's just remembered there's something beyond his cage of alleyways and gangland showdowns. Here, for future adventures. David says goodbye and leaves. The gas station sinks into absolute silence. Well, that was quite an interesting encounter. I really could have turned him in, but I didn't want to. I don't even know what's worse, this or the offer to go home in a bone carriage. Though something tells me that if I accept, I might not return home at all. I survived another visitor. Seems I'm starting to get used to this job. I say this, even though it's only been one night. Wiping off the sticky residue, hoping it was just spilled soda from the counter, I suddenly hear the crunch of gravel outside. Actually, before we get to the next visitor, I'm going to take a brief break. I'll be back in just a couple minutes. So, sorry for the early cutoff. We will be coming back to Don't Eat the Cashier next Harem Collection stream.
Where? It's my channel. I'll do what I'll fucking want.
We're gonna go back to Don't Eat the Cashier. We're gonna see if we can finish that up. And if I still got some time, maybe we'll start up. Maybe we'll do some more Guardies Adventure? I don't know. We'll find out. Though, if there's not a whole lot of time left, then I'll just pull up another harem collecting game. I've got several waiting in my folder for me to break open. Woohoo! Oh, it's been a minute since I popped this open. I honestly don't remember. Did we just finish with the fucking vampire dude? Fucking David? Yo, I'm that gnome. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had just finished talking to the vampire David. So I think we're halfway through the options now. Wiping off the sticky residue, hoping it was just spilled soda from the counter. I suddenly hear the crunch of gravel outside. Oops. Ah, yes! Hello, sexy bitch. How you doing? Hey, Bob, I need to take a 5. I'll be right back. This is definitely not another vampire. The stranger leans against the counter, trying to look casual, but the way his tail twitches betrays his nervous tension. I know, right? Hi. He clears his throat. Hello, babe. My name is Victor. Aren't your parents pirates by any chance? Aren't your parents farmers by any chance? I took his awkward attempt at flirting and made it my own. Now I'm the captain of the ship since I am a true descendant of pirates. Victor nervously taps his hoof on the floor. No? Then where did they get such a sweet peach? Ha ha ha! I finally get to flirt with one of these bitches. His face instantly lights up. So much so that even his ears are smoking, it seems. Thank you. He shuffles his foot. Miss, actually, I wanted to give you a compliment. I mean, to flirt. Victor makes vague gestures with his hands as if trying to describe a complex mechanism that just exploded. It was all supposed to go completely differently. You were supposed to blush and giggle, and you broke it all. Yeah, I'm good at that. So what do you think about Barbie Girl by Aqua? So he believes this is really supposed to work on real-life people? His face is burning. Victor takes another deep, frantic breath. His stomach is growling so horribly. I hope the guy is okay. Is it really that bad? I mean, is my flirting technique really that terrible? I like awkwardness. It makes them adorable. This might be the best compliment he's ever heard in his life. Probably the only one. You liked it? His voice mixes surprise, disbelief, and a shy glimmer of joy. I'm glad you like awkwardness, because I have plenty of it, you probably noticed. Right off the bat, is it really written on my face? Actually, I initially chose this tactic to charm you, miss. Of course, everything went according to plan. He coughs shyly and mumbles something to himself. Then he shifts his gaze back to me. Actually, miss, I'm here to acquire... Mwah. He doesn't get to finish. We have a visitor. She stands next to the counter, clicking her mandibles impatiently. 2 packs of Brapsy, a pack of screaming cheese, and a bag of fairy fingers, darling. By the way, your gas attendant is a real sweetheart. It's frightening to imagine what my invisible colleague looks like. He hasn't even bothered to say hello. And hurry up, I need to rush. I have a lot of work waiting for me today. I'm starting to pack the order. At the same time, this incubus awkwardly tries to hit on the lady. I thought we had something special. Bro is cheating on me right there, right in front of me. Really, bro? Thought we had something going. Apparently, the failed Casanova decided to try his luck on a new victim. Wow, you seem so busy and cool, ma'am. And you must have a very wonderful job. She starts clicking her mandibles energetically, producing a buzzing sound that vaguely resembles laughter. Wonderful! Oh, yes, wonderful. Wonderful for those who don't like to eat, sleep, or see their children grow. Really, the best job in all 9 worlds. Speaking of children. Victor barely recovers from her sarcasm when the lady immediately pulls a wallet out of her bag and unfolds it. Over and over again. It seemed endless. This is Gugu. He has his father's mandibles. Victor gazes into the abyss, and the abyss gazes back, revealing baby pictures. The seduction attempt has failed. Again. Oh, what's wrong, Victor? You don't like a MILF? No, I can't blame you. I wouldn't touch that either. Like any mother, Lady Mantis loved her children and considered it her sacred duty to tell every passing incubus about them. This is Gugo. He's in his rebel phase right now. He pierced his mandibles. Can you imagine? He makes such a racket when he eats. The image of a larva in a biker jacket makes me snort and reminds me of David. And this is Gigi and Gaga. They're still larvae, but already so talented. What talents can larvae have? They just lie there and eat. I do too, though. Wait, don't think about that. You have very beautiful children, ma'am. All 20 of them. Incredibly cute. That's just the first wallet. Oh no, aliens, are you stuck in ad jail? Oh, you poor thing. It's okay, Victor, I'll save you. Oh, I got a bit carried away. I really am in a hurry. Here, your money, darling. Victor watches her disappear into the night and turns to me with a grateful look. Thank you, miss. I couldn't handle 20 more kids. To be honest, I already broke down at the 8th. I thought looking after a cat was hard. The lady left very little in tips. Probably all her money went to her children. Victor suddenly remembers he came here to buy something. However, my visitors rarely recall that. I need a book. Victor scans my stinking supernatural realm of discount rot and chocolate bars. It's a guide for, well, you know, succubi and incubi. I can't remember what it's called, but I've definitely heard something about it. Could you take a look? It's definitely not for me. It's for my less experienced friend. Because I'm, you know, employee of the month in my lair. He didn't specify whether he was the worst or the best employee of the month. Well, you know, life force harvesting for dummies or something like that. I hear him mumbling quietly to himself. Such a shame. I should have just stayed home and rewatched Evangelion for the 10th time. My man! Victor's mine. I claim him. Welcome to the harem, Victor. I will treat you well. My bro watches fucking Evangelion. Let's go! He's a nerd! I love that. I'm heading to the storage room. Just a few hours before I was rushing around here looking for blood for a very hungry monster. Now all these vials, eyes, and tentacles seem less ominous. A gigantic dead moth lies on top of one of the boxes. Or perhaps it's just very tired. I'm rummaging through the book section. Deep in between baboon metaphysics and limits of patience of your dead servants, I find the desired volume. I come back from the storage room, holding this forbidden, mind-bending treatise titled Everything You Ever Wanted to Know About Demons and Everything You Didn't Want to Know About Them. Wow, this is definitely better than those PDF guides from various sites for, never mind who. Welcome back, aliens. I'm glad you survived ad hell. Clearly not for the whole family. Let's study it? Yes, it'd be very unusual if he just paid me, tipped me, and moved along. I expect too much from this life. But in fact, this will be an entertaining educational lesson. It certainly won't be unnecessary. And the guy looks like those pictures are enough to make him faint. The sooner this is over, the sooner I can send him on his way.
Send him on his way to my apartment? We find a cozy spot next to the counter. I pull the grimoire closer. I open the book, and the pages, yellowed and brittle with age, release a cloud of dust and indecent, horrifying desires. Incubi, the nature of the tempting rogue, hooves of desire. Tempting rogues. Oh, that's me. Yes, definitely me. Hooves are just like mine. You have no idea how awful they clop, especially on tiles. When you sneak to the fridge at night, the whole house wakes up with you. Everyone thinks there's a big, clumsy cow living in your apartment. Yeah, I think you really are an incubus. They're all purple. Oh, you're right. All incubi are purple. I thought my skin color was just some kind of coincidence. You know, like when you create a character in a video game and just spin the color wheel until you stumble upon something weird. He gives me a cautious look, as if not entirely sure about the coolness of his purple hue. Oh, spore mention. Let's go. We gotta go with that one. He lets out a quiet, soft chuckle. Spore, seriously? I know it's a self-deprecating joke, but by the way, it really has an awesome creature maker. I love the mating dances in that game. Maybe I should have taken a couple for my profession. By the way, you can make beautiful creatures in Spore too, even with symmetrical limbs. It seems like that was a compliment to me. I am very symmetrical. Victor turns attention back to the book and runs his clawed finger down the lines. Incubi, appreciators of the vibrant hues of the soul. They draw power not from blood or life force, but from the pure, potent energy of mortal emotions. And although a refined bouquet of positive emotions is the preferred ambrosia, what a fancy word. A practitioner can also sustain themselves with more coarse, fickle energies of negativity. Despair, horror, and humiliation provide a quick, albeit unpleasant, rush of power. It's no wonder that now, after an argument with someone in the comments, I feel like I've eaten a few raisins. Oh no. Victor, please don't get your energy from trolls on the internet. I know it can give you a rush, but it's not worth it. Judging by the expression on his face, he clearly isn't cut out for horrors and humiliations. His limit is probably arguing on 4chan. Also, a kind of source of horrors and humiliations, but still, it's a bit different. An incubus can, albeit less effectively, form a symbiotic connection by feeding off a single consenting mortal vessel. Hey, I'm a single consenting mortal vessel. The mortal vessel, in turn, can absorb some of the power from the incubus, among other things, their immortality. Wow, sounds like a decent deal. I certainly always have plenty of emotions, mostly hatred for the fact that to earn money you have to work, and a whole mountain of raisins for Victor or whatever he called it. What a relief. Just one person. The thought of having to chase after a whole bunch of strangers makes me feel sick. Strangers are the scariest thing right after rent. That is so fucking true. Yeah, I totally understand you. It's probably even harder to deal with clients like me. Communication is already a horror show in itself, but then you add literal horror with vampires and ghosts. Just a nightmare. He really looks at me with sympathy. He feels sorry for me. I don't even know how to react to that. Trying to understand what people want from you is quite the challenge. It's like trying to play a game with its rules changing every 5 seconds. Yeah, it's fucking exhausting. And someone has turned off your screen and you're paralyzed. Basically, yeah, I completely get you.
Aren't you bossy?
Oh, we got a streamer gotcha package. Let's go. Alright, aliens, for you, I shall water and stretch. Uh, oh, fuck. Okay, that actually felt pretty good. Yes, I think the oiter. I'll think the oiter again. Because I am thirsty. I can't help it. Victor turned me thirsty hoe. I think I'll more wither away than explode. I'll turn into a dried up mummy. Victor flips through the grimoire, reading the chapter titles. Techniques of rogue seduction, juicy emotional juices, using lascivious energies for thaumaturgal. Fuck, what the fuck is this word? Fuck you. Purposes. I don't even want to know. I just want to not starve without energy, and maybe pay my rent. I don't need to be the lusty cousin of Doctor Strange. Okay, to be fair though, Doctor Strange is kind of awesome. His finger finally jabs at a random chapter title somewhere in the middle. Love letters. It seems completely irreparable. I can't fucking read. Oh my god. It seems completely and irrevocably outdated, especially that part about carrier pigeon collars. Love letters? Who writes love letters anymore? This should apply to text messages now, right? But this is a good start. Let's work on this before moving on to more complex seduction methods. He pulls out a pen from somewhere, a cheap ballpoint with a little anime cat charm on the end. I hand him a grease-stained napkin, like everything in this rotten place. The book says to convey aching adoration and a hint of forbidden desire. Victor starts scribbling something on the napkin. Maybe something like this? Yo. Bro. Why? Why'd you draw a neckbeard? With no shirt? He's definitely been spending time on 4chan. No, Victor, try again. Please. Yeah, I guess this really isn't the most aching thing in the world. It's aching something, and but it's not my heart or my loins. He takes a less greasy napkin from me and starts drawing again. What about this? Will you marry me in a funny kitty? Wonderful. That lonely, pain-filled tear is like a cherry on top. Yeah, I'll go ahead and check the yes box. Victor's mind is now a blue screen of death. This probably means the picture turned out well, right? With a trembling hand, he takes the drawing for himself. If my client gets a heart attack, Bob will probably kill me. Or, you know, sentence me to clean the bathrooms with a fork for the next 2,000 years. Victor continues to flip through the book. Recognizing the desires of the vessel. He scans the first few lines of text. It's all about observing subtle hints, interpreting body language, and engaging in candid conversations to uncover the special nature of mortal carnal desires. He glances at me. What does Vessel Cross want? The vessel wants money, stable mental health, fame, love, and adoration. A simple human sofa and cuddles on it. Or wants to leave work as soon as possible. Let's not linger, young man. So not this one. I like these four. What do I want at this very moment? I'll take a sofa and cuddles. I like cuddles, honestly. Oh, great. And pizza, right? In his eyes is genuine sympathy and understanding of every delicate string of my unfortunate and lonely soul. That's honestly quite a simple desire. I think if the criteria for the second person on the couch aren't too strict, I could easily help. Though sometimes I comment too loudly on what's happening on screen. I hope that's not too much of a problem. Bro, me too, though! We would end up fucking talking through half of whatever the fuck we're watching because we're too busy commentating. We'll just feed off each other's energy. Sometimes you just can't help but make a stupid comment 10, 20 in 5 minutes. Especially when you know some facts about the movie. We continue to study its villain's seduction manual. The art of verbal seduction and slippery flattery. To his surprise, Victor finds no mention of the fact that pirate compliments at work on living people. We examine the first paragraph, where words are labeled as keys to the treasure chest of the heart, and flattery is described as a powerful aphrodisiac for the ego. Yeah, that's about right. It's all very dramatic, but the main idea is quite simple. Say nice things. Don't say unpleasant things. This is definitely outdated. If I tell someone that his eyes are double gateways to the jumps to the fucking French, I'm pretty fucking sure that's French. It looks French. Fucking oui, baguette, avalanche, I don't know. I'll definitely get sprayed with pepper. Bro, I would straight up fucking spray you with pepper. You fucking start speaking French at me. Like, I have no issues with the French, but I can't do the language, bro. It confuses me. And this, good lord. When I kiss you, I tremble like a paralyzed beggar. How's that even supposed to work? No, that's too much even for me. I don't get it. Victor clears his throat. His gaze slides over me, trying to latch onto something particularly attractive about my appearance. You have very elegant ear shape. Aw, thanks. No problem. I mean, they really are. They have a very elegant curve. Aesthetically pleasing. 11 out of 10 on the ear attractiveness scale. Okay, I'll be honest. I don't remember if anyone has ever complimented me on my ears. I like my ears. They're kind of pleasant. A little bit. Mwah. Ears on my head are an 11 out of 10. Will there ever be a happier day in my life? He takes a deep breath, gathering his courage for another compliment. Actually, I think you have a wonderful sense of humor. Like, nothing can really get to you, right? Most people would scream, run away in horror, or fall into a true existential crisis. Oh, that's easy, Victor. That's because I'm in an existential crisis 24/7. It's hard to fall into one if you're already having one. I'm the main joker of this greasy gas station. Should I be proud or horrified? Oh, I'm proud. I'm proud as fuck. Smile! He smiles gently in response. Despite everything, he starts to relax. He's probably beginning to feel more comfortable around me. I've never thought a monster would have to struggle with discomfort from interacting with a mortal soul, and not the other way around. Mwah. Another chapter. How to be a mirror. I didn't know we could change. Oh, it's metaphorical. The text describes the principles of mirroring, subtly borrowing mannerisms, speech patterns, and even expressed opinions of the victim to create a sense of closeness and understanding. The path of least resistance to gaining mortal attachment. Oh no, what all that stuff about just be yourself and everything will work out? My mom lied to me, didn't she? Yeah. I have to tone myself down quite a bit when I'm at work. Kinda sucks. Aw, thanks for feeding Scuffcat your churro, aliens. I'm surprised you're sharing churros of all things. Is it because you couldn't fit more in your mouth?
Thanks for the churro.
With similar interests, what do ordinary people like? Football and the weather? I'm not ordinary, so I couldn't tell you. I don't like either of those things. Let's talk about Evangelion. Definitely not anime and Dark Souls. Bro! Discussing the brilliant soundtrack of Silent Hill with people is a bad idea, that's for sure. No, the fuck it is not. Let's talk anime and the fucking soundtracks. The Silent Hill soundtrack. Bro, I will suck your dick right now if we start talking about the amazing music that is in Silent Hill. Oh my god. Especially Room of Angel. I love Room of Angel with a burning passion. Holy shit, bro. Dark Souls, not really into the franchise. No, not really into it. I understand the hype over it. It does look cool. But I personally am not into it. Anime, though, and the fucking Silent Hill soundtrack. Bro, I will suck this bro's dick right the fuck now. If he pulls up Room of Angel on his phone. Ah! Okay, I'm good. I'm done fangirling for a minute. No, I'm not. Oh my god, I fucking love Victor. Victor, welcome to the harem. You're gonna love it here. Alright, practice. The book says that practice is the key to success. I will help you practice Frenching. Victor lifts his gaze to me. Play along with me, please. Like we just met. Beautiful mortal soul, I've appeared to you in half dreams so many times. I finally decided to find you in reality. I won't let you go so easily again. Even though the words aren't the most elegant, there's something supernatural about them. I still begin to feel a pull. A shiver runs down my spine. Dude, no. I'd love to talk about Silent Hill soundtrack. Nah, bruh. Nah, fucking speak nerdy to me. Victor, do you play Dungeons and Dragons? You want to get married? Victor's carefully crafted seductive expression shatters into pieces. His eyes widen, he blinks several times, and his gaze ignites with pure delight. You really want to talk about Akira Yamaoka's industrial soundscapes? Yes, the fuck I do! Let's go! Oh my god! and how they create an all-encompassing sense of psychological horror that reflects the protagonist's inner turmoil? Yes! 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 Oh! Excuse me just a moment. Because, I mean, the use of trip-hop elements in the Silent Hill 3 soundtrack is criminally underrated. Criminally! I am getting down on one knee right now. Oh my god, Victor was written for me. That's just it. Victor was written for me. Oh, I mean, ahem. Yes, mortal, your interest in such esoteric melodies is quite intriguing. He chuckles softly. But you're right, pretending is very exhausting. You never truly be close to someone if you're always pretending. Though, I don't really need that, do I? I just need juicy, sweet emotions. Well, who am I kidding? I'm the most pathetic incubus in the world. I need more than just that. He's flipping through the treaties a bit longer before letting out a sigh. His stomach growls again. It seems he could use an emotional snack. I think we've covered all the important stuff. I suppose it's time to wrap things up. He starts to rise from the floor. Wait, how did it happen that no one explained anything to you? Even I had a briefing. I'll tell you, but promise you won't laugh. Relief washes over his face. Yes, wonderful. I accidentally sold my soul on the dark net. He holds a dramatic pause. Go on. Fuck, what an idiot I was. I dropped out of college back then because of constant stress, moved into a tiny dump, and barely left my apartment. I was scraping by with some freelance work. Sometimes I chatted with various anonymous folks from 4chan, people without names, gender, or age. And then I stumbled upon a stupid ad. What did I have to lose? Definitely not a demon. 7566 in the chat offered me a chance to escape loneliness. Later, after I turned into this creature, he told me he did it for laughs. He left no instructions, just wrote "get good" in the chat and deleted all contacts. He was curious to see if I could handle it. His chance to escape loneliness turned out to be putting me in an incredibly deadly situation. He lifts his eyes to me. This memory is
We love a sexy demon nerd man.
You are 100% right, Scuffcat. We love us a sexy demon nerd man. Oh my god. He lifts his eyes to me. This memory is a fresh wound for him. Before I can even respond, he jumps up from the floor. I've already wasted enough of your time. He clops his way to the counter. Well, to be honest, I didn't really understand much. Those chapters are so strange. He lets out a quiet chuckle. But you know what? It was great. I haven't had this much fun in a while. I think I even ate properly. Finally. Positive energy, I mean. Thanks for the lunch. I'm not sure if I need to pay for that too, but I'll leave some money just in case. His tail twitches awkwardly. I haven't really interacted with people since college killed my will to live. Yo, yeah. Dude, living killed my will to live. Hey, welcome in, Jack. Good to see you. It felt strange not to feel like such an idiot around someone. Thank you very much. He tosses some money into the jar, then takes a deep breath and adds, and maybe someday we could, well, hang out together? Not as a lesson, just play some silly games, like friends. Let's make it a date, bro. A date? His tail starts wagging wildly, knocking over 3 bags of chips, a can of soda, and a bottle of Gloomy D. I'm in! Of course, I'm ready! He struggles to rein in the flow of enthusiasm and takes a frantic breath. See you then. Goodbye. Bye, Cross. Good luck with your shift. Yo, you're gonna leave me your number, though, bro? It was nice to meet you. This gas station returned to silence, broken only by the hum of refrigerators and my own too loud thoughts. Bro didn't even leave his number! What the hell? Dude! So, a crazy god, a vampire thug, and a shiny incubus walk into a gas station. Sounds like the start of a really bad joke. My life is now a joke. Just great.
Give me your number, dude! I want it! Gimme!
Huh, strange. Why do those gimmies sound like simplies? I just wanted to pay my bills. I didn't sign up for interdimensional quarrels and therapy sessions with the undead. Well, I can't be blue simply because Reina is blue. I thought I would be the red one. Because Simply is pink. God damn it, aliens. I mean, granted, you do look at Scuff Cat's, you do look at Scuff Cat's human design. I very clearly made it a mix of me and Simply. Though no, that Simply is actually returning to their proper pink hue. Scuff Cat is just... It's just Scuff Cat. Scuff Cat is Scuff Cat. Hello, Jack. But on the other hand, I wasn't eaten. I wasn't turned into a piece of furniture. By the standards of this night, that's a resounding success. I cautiously glanced at the door to Bob's office. There was a low, guttural humming, like a giant, disgruntled computer tower was working inside. The clock on the wall indicated it was the end of my shift. With a heavy sigh of relief, I began closing up the place. Finally, I walked to the front door, inserted the key into the lock, and was about to turn it when suddenly... Organism! I jumped in place, nearly dropping everything. Organism! Your performance has exceeded all my algorithmic predictions by 47.3%. You are not just an organism, you are an efficient, flawless machine for generating currency. I am feeling an emotion your kind describes as managerial pride. If you keep up the good work, the possibility of receiving a 25-cent bonus will become not just hypothetical, but quite real. Go, organism, restore your energy resources in return for further exploitation. Well, at least Bob keeps it real, dude. He vanished as suddenly as he had appeared, leaving nothing but ringing silence behind. I stood for a few seconds, processing what I'd heard. Then I slowly turned the key in the lock. Click. First shift completed. I survived. And now I can do anything, which means... Call Victor! Victor promises to come faster than the wind. True to his word, when his car pulls into the parking lot, he nearly knocks over a trash bin. Bro has a car? Yeah, yeah. My bad! It's an old, well-maintained car, clearly inherited from his grandfather. Inside, it's warm and smells nice. His apartment is exactly as I imagined, a bit cluttered, but cozy. And soon I get humiliated by the very first boss. Victor, sitting next to me, laughs. It's not that you're bad at this, as you say, it's just that I'm a nerd with a whole lot of free time. His fingers glide effortlessly over the buttons. Yo, I recognize those controllers. Bro is straight up fuck. Are we playing a fucking PS2 game? Let's go! His fingers glide effortlessly over the buttons. I felt at ease for the first time in a long while. No fear, no tension, just two people playing video games. He's blushing! Bless you. Bless you. He freezes for a second, then a blush appears on his violet cheeks. He coughs awkwardly but doesn't pull away. Instead, he gently leans his head towards mine. Cross, you've made me so happy in just one evening, and I'll do everything I can to make you happy. I close my eyes, listening to the quiet clicking of buttons. An incubus partner. My partner is an incubus, and he's better at Souls-like games than I am, for now. Something very interesting is definitely happening with my life. Yes! Yes! Yeah, I didn't get enough love points with David to make him an option. Dude was such a little bitch. Why would I want to be with him anyway? Ah, it's over. But I got my nerd incubus. Hell yeah, new member for the harem. Let's go! Oh fuck, I didn't save. Dude, I don't want to go all the way fucking back there to see the fucking end of Darren's route. Fuck it. God damn it. Alright. Come on. Let me skip. There. Alright, shout. Carriage for the queen! The words escaped my lips before I could think them through. I shouted into the void, expecting, at best, an echo. But the void answered. From around the corner, with a quiet clatter of hooves on asphalt, it appeared. A carriage crafted from bones polished to a shine, drawn by a pair of horses woven from pure shadows. The carriage door swung open by itself, inviting me inside. How mysterious. I stepped over the threshold, and the world spun into a kaleidoscope of mad colors and sentient frogs. When the whirlwind subsided, I felt myself falling. But instead of a hard landing, I found myself in someone's embrace.
Wow, Alien Z is so smart.
Oh, fuck. Bro looks so different outside his jester outfit. Whoa. Hello, how you doing? I knew you would come, my dear. Darren's voice was velvety and sly. I looked down and realized that my t-shirt and jeans had been replaced by some elegant attire. How old-fashioned of him. The kingdom missed you so much. Every crooked spire of this castle longed for your silhouette. Every mad courtier whispered your name, hoping you would turn and bring even more chaos to our usual chaos. He looked into my eyes, and his gaze was a mix of madness, adoration, and the promise of the most unpredictable eternity. Everything. I will give you everything. How about a pet? I could bring you the most beautiful griffin. Or better yet, two, so they won't be bored when I take you for rides around our lands. If one moon bores you, we'll have three. Or get a few garden gnomes and... I'm getting ahead of myself. Let it be a surprise. He pulls me closer by the waist. His lips almost touch the shell of my ear as he speaks the next words. You will never be sad again. From this moment, sadness for you is just a word in a foreign language. My dear, my queen. And all it took was one night shift at a gas station. That was very, very satisfying. Okay, I'm glad I went back. I'm glad I went back to see that. That was very, very satisfying. Oh my god. But I think I'll still take Victor. I've read enough romance fantasy webcomics to know that being a noble is tiring. Though the food looks amazing. But then I would have to like constantly worry about fitting into my dresses. Nah, I'll just sit at home in a baggy ass fucking t-shirt and play video games with my boyfriend. I'm a simple woman with simple pleasures. What can I say? Though I bet Staron might like the Dark Souls franchise if I showed it to him. Huh. Oh, dude, he'd probably like Silent Hill. Of course, then I'd have to worry about a bunch of pyramid heads running around. And as usual, everybody, be happy, be healthy. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
But your smile hit me like a crash. Every word you say, it lingers like your touch on my fingers. I try to play it cool, pretend, but I replay your voice again. You got me floating